How's it going? In this video, I wanted to give a little breakdown on my straight Dragapult deck. I've been having a lot of fun with it, having some success with it. I won a League Cup with the deck as well, and I think it just has some good options right now. So I wanted to break down the list, some of the inclusions, and talk about it going forward. So this is the list I won with. I'm playing a bit of a different list now, which I'll go into after. But I won a pretty competitive League Cup, around 26 players, I believe, with this deck. And yeah, it's a lot of fun and has good options. So obviously you got your Dragapult line, 442 in this list. And what I just like about this deck is I like the Lily Town Store engine, right? I like being able to retreat into Badoo without putting a Latias, a 2-prizer, in play. And so you just have more outs to the turn 1 Badoo with the Town Store. So you obviously have your 7 energy, and you gain 3 more outs to retreat into Badoo off of a Lily. So you have your 2 Town Store and your Air Balloon. So you're going to really consistently just be able to get that turn 1 Badoo, which is, one of the main goals of the deck. And so yeah, you have a lot of useful tools. The Air Balloon Defiance Band is really cool as well. Different applications. Important for your Moltres to be able to KO Goldango with Defiance Band. You can use it with Blood Moon or Ursaluna. Then we have the Bravery Charm. It's just a cool card. You can make your Badoo extra tanky into decks that play Monkey Dory, deny them a free prize card that way. Use it to beef up your Ursaluna or your Fez. Orders, we got the 4 Lily, 4 Iono, 2 Boss. I was playing Crispin in this version of the deck, which I end up eventually cutting. I'll talk about why. Penny. So Penny's interesting. You might be wondering why Penny and not Turo. I just found myself, I couldn't find many situations where I do all this work to set up a Dragapult and then I want to Turo it out of play. So a lot of the times you're using Turo to pick up your Fez to mess up your opponent's prize map, or some rare cases double use Halucha again after putting it back down, or retreat lock if something gets retreat locked in the active, Turo it up. So I just found myself not wanting to take a Dragapult out of play. So Penny is cool. Say you charm a Blood Moon and have an energy on it, you can Penny it back up. Same with Monkey Dory. If you have a Monkey Dory with an energy on it, you can get the energy back, put it right back down, and use it twice. So Penny just felt like better than Turo in some situations, but again, that might not be completely correct. We'll see. And then, normal Dragapult consistency things. 3 counter catcher is essential. 2 boss has been enough. I would like 3 boss would be a nice to have, but the deck has felt like it functions fine with 2 boss, but 3 boss is something I would like. I was playing the Wellspring Ogerpon in here. A couple reasons. I was just like, I'm playing Town Store, I'm playing Sparkling Crystal, so why not throw some other kind of attacker in here with Crispin? Like, what else can I power up? So Wellspring seemed good to have a retreat lock option, and in some cases to be able to Crispin and Torrential Pump. I did find myself not using this option as much, so I eventually am going to cut the Wellspring Ogerpon. But yeah, I didn't use it at all in the cup, I don't think. I don't even know if I used Sob. Which retreat lock doesn't feel like amazing right now. So let me go into the current list I'm playing and what I changed. So similar list. I would say this is like the teched out version. You could cut some of the text for consistency, which is never a bad move. Start with some of the text. We have the Hoopa EX in here. I was just tired of losing the Kangaskhan decks, which especially locally there was a lot of them running around. So you go Hoopa, Sparkling Crystal, Luminous Energy. You're KOing a Kangaskhan most of the time. If you don't know what Hoopa does, Energy Crush for 2 dark, 50 damage for each energy on all your opponent's Pokemon. So yeah, if they're gonna have a few energy in play to attack with Kangaskhan and then probably have a couple energy on Monkey Dory or a backup Kangaskhan. So Energy Crush, and then you have things like Town Store to remove the Lively Stadium if they play that, and Tool Scrapper to remove Bravery Charms. So then we have the Ace Nullifier Genesect in here as well, which it just felt like a good inclusion with how many different tools we play, and some of these tools aren't good in specific matchups. So like, why not have the Genesect to utilize those tools? It's a really strong option. I don't know that I like have enough use cases in specific matchups of where you want to use it, but it just feels like a strong option to have access to with all these tools. But again, I don't think it's super necessary. Tool Scrapper is another like tech inclusion. Just feels really good into Gardevoir. A lot of the times they're gonna charm their Pheasantipede or their Mew or their Clefairy, and that's just like really hard to deal with without Tool Scrapper. So again, Guardy's still not a good matchup even with Tool Scrapper, but I think it gives you a fighting chance. But again, you also don't have a way to search it out. You're drawing through a lot of your deck a lot of the time, but you don't have search for it, so I could be inclined to cut Tool Scrapper. And a few of the consistency pieces would be a third Dragapult. Especially against other Dragapult decks, you want to be able to find your Dragapult under item lock. Third Boss, like I mentioned earlier, is just good. Boss is a good card. You win a lot of your games through Boss. Third Stretcher also is a consideration, especially like some game plans where you're going to be using multiple Moltres in matchups like Goldango. And speaking of Moltres, another inclusion would be either second Defiance Band or a Brave Bangle, just for the Goldango matchup especially, because if you fall behind especially, you can win the game through multiple Moltres attacks just through Goldangos if you have access to 2 damage buff tools. So yeah, I think the way to go in there would be 3 Stretcher and an extra hit damage buff tool, because you're going to need to recycle the Moltres, so having access to another Stretcher is great. You could maybe cut the Bravery Charm or any of the other techs I discussed there, but yeah, overall I just think this is a really fun deck. A lot of room for skill expression for like intermediate-ish players. Yeah, what I like about it is that it's like streamlined enough in its game plan where it's like not super complex like in the early turns, but there's a lot of room for skill expression as you get through the games with this deck and get a lot of games in with it. The more practice you're going to get with this deck, the better you're going to become, and the more games you're going to win overall. And then with the energy count, I went to 4 Luminous instead of all basic energy from the last build. Just felt really good, especially since I bumped up to 2 Monkey Dory. I just really always wanted to have access to Monkey Dory, especially into Dragapult, Gardevoir, things like that. And it feels like you have enough flexibility with the Crystal and the Luminous, and 3 basic generally feels like enough. Just since with that Crystal, you have so much flexibility of which energy you can attach. So having the max Luminous count just feels really good. And you're almost always going to have access to Monkey Dory when you need it, which is a big selling point of this version of Dragapult over Dragapult Dusknoir. So if you want to catch more gameplay with the deck, check out my last video, the tabletop gameplay with this exact list. That's about it for the deck profile. I'll leave a copy paste in the description for it, but I've been having a lot of fun with it. Definitely let me know if you're able to try it out, what you think, what you would change. And yeah, that's about it for me, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.